And let's start laying down on our backs today. And when you first get there, just have your strap nearby. Give your knees a nice little squeeze into your chest. Oh, you can rock a little bit from side to side, kind of just getting a feel for what's going on inside the body today, how things are feeling. And then we're going to go ahead and take our feet to the mat. So take your, keep your knees bent, feet as wide as the mat, and just allow your knees to knock in towards each other. And then just take your arms by your side. Nice deep inhale here through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. A couple more times like that. Nice, smooth, deep inhale. Sigh the breath out on the exhale. Do that another time or two. After which you're going to start to find that rhythm of your Ujjayi breath. So inhaling through your nose, creating that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. And then exhaling through your nose, also creating that soft rush of air in the back of your throat. So definitely audible to you. You don't have to overdo it. There's a little effort there. And just follow that sound of your breath. Bring your attention there. So all of the background noise just fades away. Feel your feet, your hip plates, your shoulder blades really heavy in the mat. Might feel as though your neck is lengthening. Maybe even a slight tuck of your chin towards your chest. Get curious about how it feels when you're inhaling. So there's this nice expansion in the rib cage, in the front of the body, the sides of the body, the back of the body. And then as you exhale, everything contracts in. Just soaking up these initial moments of quiet, letting everything slow down, checking in. Nice deep inhale. Open your mouth, exhale the breath out, ha. And then we're going to start to heel toe our feet so that they're hips distance apart. Hug your right knee into your chest and then just start to circle around in that hip socket. It can be big, it can be small. Just going both directions. And then you're going to reach off and find your strap or your towel. If you don't have a strap, that's fine too. If you've got the strap, you're going to place it over the sole of the foot, one strap in each hand. You can also just interlace your fingers behind your thigh here if you don't have a strap. So we're bringing this leg towards straight. It's like you're going to stand on the ceiling so that foot is flexed. You can even just take your right thumb into that right hip crease, draw it forward. So we're trying to find space, that lower right waist. And then just taking a few breaths here like this. Again, little bend in the knee if this is really intense in your lower back, if you're feeling this in your hamstring. And then also just know with the strap, it's nice. You can come down as far as you need to so that you can keep both of those shoulder blades pressing down into the mat. So just a couple more breaths here like this. Your gaze is just at your toes or up at the ceiling. Maybe stay here like this, perhaps. Start to extend that left leg to straight on the mat. So press forward through the heel and then point those toes up towards the ceiling. Both legs are essentially doing the same thing. They're just facing different directions. Keep that breath smooth and steady, that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Welcome, Neil and Megan. All right, so feel the back side of your body pressing evenly here. Take both straps into your right hand. And then if your left leg is extended to straight, you're just gonna place your left palm on top to remind that leg to stay active. Otherwise, if the knee is bent, you can also just keep that left hand on your left thigh. Nice deep inhale here. As you exhale, keep the back side of the body pressing evenly as you start to come into this nice little hip opener here. So extending that right leg off to the right. And it can be really intense. You might not go very far at all. So again, if this left hip plate in particular starts to pop up, just back out a little bit. Can be a lot of sensation here. Send the exhale to those spots where you're feeling it. This is a great little series that we're doing to create some tractioning, some space in the spine. All right, so we're going to inhale, come up to center, and we're going to come into our twist. So both straps come into that left hand, right arm comes out in a T-shape, palm facing up. This time we want to keep pressing down into the shoulder blade. So that's going to dictate how far you start to extend that right leg off to the left. So hips might start to stack here any amount. They might not. You might be more like this. So again, just playing around, kind of finding that spot where you're getting a nice stretch, but you're not overdoing it. Your gaze can be up at the ceiling. You might be looking out over your right fingertips or rolling towards that right ear if that feels okay in the neck. Even here, can you keep drawing that right hip crease forward? So finding a little space. And then get curious about how the inhale feels. It's a little less full perhaps in this deep twist. Just noticing that. All right, we inhale up to center. So we're going to bring our right big toe towards our left shoulder head. So you're kind of going diagonal and back. Both hip plates keep pressing. And this is a tiny, tiny movement, but it's a really, really big stretch. So you're going to be feeling this in the hamstring behind the knee. Might even get a little stretch in the calf, the glute. So a lot of places. Keep breathing. It's easy to hold the breath here because it's so intense. Good, and then just come back to center. Go ahead and bend that left knee if you extended that leg. Release the strap from that right foot, and then hug that left knee in, and we start to make some circles here in this left hip socket. And this side is gonna feel different. So you're just kind of noticing that. You can start to switch directions. And then go ahead and grab your strap or belt or scarf or a towel. You could use a sweatshirt. So a lot of things work for a prop. Then one strap in each hand, come down as far as you need to so that you can feel your shoulder blades heavy. Might have a little bend in this left knee, especially if there's any sensation in the lumbar or the hamstring. And then again, really quick, let's just take our left thumb into that left hip crease, gently press forward. So we're trying to create a little space, that lower left waist. Try to hold on to that sensation as you take one strap into each hand, and then maybe you start to extend that right leg to straight on the mat. So if you're doing that, that leg stays really active. It's as though you're standing on it, keeping the breath smooth and steady here. Gaze soft and gentle, just either up at the ceiling or at those left toes. And then both straps come into your left hand, right hand on top of that right thigh. You're reminding that leg to stay really active. So you're going to keep pressing into the backside of your body evenly. Start to exhale. Find that external rotation. So opening up at that hip crease, taking the left leg off to the left. How is this side different than the other side? Remembering that you don't have to go very far. So you're just going to that place in your body where you're getting some sensation and feeling the stretch. All right, as we inhale, we bring that left leg up to center. Both straps come into your right hand, left arm out in a T-shaped, palm facing up. And then as we exhale, we start to move the hips towards stacking on each other as we bring that left leg off to the right, gazing straight up at the ceiling here, maybe rolling onto that left cheek, looking out over your fingertips. Breath smooth and steady. Really trying to fill up on this inhale. So send the breath in, like in all directions. Good. And then inhale, come on up to center. So both legs really active. Bring your right or left big toe towards your right shoulder head. So little diagonal stretch, super intense. Notice if you start to clench your face, your jaw, soften there. Keep breathing. Maybe back out of the pose a little bit if you need to. Good. And then you come back to center. You can remove the strap from your foot. Give both knees a hug in and just notice how you feel here. Hopefully it feels like you're a little taller on each side. And then just rock and roll a little bit from side to side. And then eventually forward and back. If that doesn't feel good on your spine, just roll off to one side, then the other. And we're gonna roll on up to our tabletop position. Good, and we're gonna move right into our cat-cow here. So, shoulders over wrists, fingers spread, knees under hips. Inhale, arch. As you exhale, you press the mat away. You round in, let the neck get nice and long. Inhaling, arching. Good, as you exhale, round in. Good, continue like this, just with your breath. So finding a pace that feels really good in your body today. And if you wanna up the ante here a little bit, you could curl your toes under, just lift the knees up about 1 inch, and then move into your cat-cow. So just kind of getting into the core. If you lifted your knees, go ahead and place them down. Walk your fingers, your hands forward, 1 inch or 2, giving yourself a little space. Curl your toes under. Keep a nice bend in your knees as you start to stretch your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Let the sides of the neck get nice and long. Your ears line up with your biceps. Fingers are spreading, pressing evenly. Start to firm the forearms in towards each other. Nice work. Breath smooth and steady. You're just gazing between your feet, which are about hips distance apart. And then you can start to straighten your knees any amount. You might keep a little bend, but you can start to melt those heels towards the floor any amount. Good. As you inhale, keep the legs really active. Feel the muscles in the arms firming towards the bone. Make your way into your plank pose. So shoulders land over your wrists. Gaze 1 inch or 2 in front of your fingertips. Good. So just a few breaths here. Work the entire body. So the work kind of naturally comes into the arms. You're gonna feel it through the sides of your waist. You're gonna feel that lower belly pulling in and up. So use the legs a little more than you think you can. Really stretch back through those heels and then feel the front of the thigh firm towards the back of the thigh. And then we're gonna shift way forward on our toes. Option to come to your knees. We're gonna lower to our bellies through the count of 5 so we pass through that Chaturanga. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lengthen back through all 10 toes. Let's reach our arms by our side so palms face towards each other. Pressing into all 10 toenails as you inhale, head, chest, arms, lift up off the mat. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. It's like you're trying to hold on to a pencil with your shoulder blades. Good. As you exhale, you lower down. Good. This time, let's keep our head and our chest down. As you inhale, just lift your legs and your arms. Feel those shoulder heads lift. Keep rolling a little bit to the outer edges of your feet. One more deep inhale. Exhale, lower down. This time as you inhale, everything lifts up off the mat. So you're trying to lift the legs evenly with the upper body. So one is going to feel easier in your body. You're just noticing that and then trying to create this symmetry. Let's keep legs lifted, bend our elbows, just bring our fingertips underneath our shoulder heads, and then go ahead and place your feet down. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, low cobra. Exhale, lower. Good, inhale, Bhujangasana. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale here. Good, curl your toes under. Firm the legs up, so feel the knees, the shins, the thighs lift up off the mat. And then from here, use your hips to pull you back. We're just gonna go straight to our downward dog. It's okay if your knees touch down. And then take a nice deep inhale here. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go, ha. Start to walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Nice work. As you inhale, fingertips on the floor or hands on shins or thighs, chest lengthens forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. Couple like that. Inhale, lengthen, gaze forward. Exhale, fold in. And this time press down into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So let's just get into the neck a little bit before we start to flow here. So reaching your arms by your side, we're gonna start to just bring our chin towards our chest. So trying to let the back of the neck release and lengthen. And then keeping your chin tucked, moving nice and slow, take a few breaths to start to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. And try to do it in that order. So sometimes the shoulder wants to creep up to the ear. Really reach down through those fingertips so that shoulder is heavy. And as you get closer to this right shoulder, you're gonna feel this intensification of the stretch through the left side of your neck. You can make that a little more intense by really energetically reaching down through those left fingertips too. You might not need to do that. So if the neck is feeling really tight today, go easy. If you'd like to take your right hand to the top of your head and apply a little pressure, again, be really easy about that. So less is more. And just trying to find a little space, a little ease in the neck, which is getting lots of Zoom workouts every day and creates a lot of tension. All right, so just use your right hand to bring your head upright. And then as you exhale again, really try to let the back of the neck release as your chin comes towards your chest any amount. And just take a few breaths here. As you're standing here, you might notice all the little micro movements happening in your feet to keep you upright. There's even a slight swing sensation in your body. So a few breaths, make that journey, left ear towards left shoulder, keeping your chin tucked, really energetically reaching down through fingertips. So that's going to intensify the stretch. Anytime you get to a place where it's like really intense on that right side of your neck, just pause, take a breath or two there. They're just kind of trying to comb some of the tangles out of these scalene muscles. So these muscles on the side of our neck that are pretty small relative to the work that they're doing. Keep breathing, smile a little through the intensity. This is something that you can do seated at your desk every day. Standing works. And so finally, if you'd like to take your left hand to the top of your head, just apply a little gentle pressure. Good, and then left hand comes to your cheek. So coming to your mountain pose, arms by your side, palms facing forward, even kind of turning out a little bit, so that external rotation, that openness across your heart and chest. As you inhale, take up lots of space as you reach out, or you can reach forward and up. As you exhale, fold in. Again, let the neck lengthen down. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhaling, reaching. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward. Exhale, fold back into your uttanasana. Inhale, press down into your feet, stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Good. As you inhale, arms reach. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Good. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep the right foot forward, step the left foot back. So just be on your fingertips here. Really lengthen back through that left heel. Feel the weight in your right heel, the mound of the big toe, and then just stretch your arms forward. So little core work here. So ears in line with your biceps. They might even be a little lower than that. Gazing forward, strong, strong back leg, beautiful. Exhale, palms plant. Step back to your plank pose. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, shift forward on toes. You can use your knees lower halfway. Hover, then onto your belly. Inhale into your low cobra. If you're ready for an up dog, drag your hands back. Wrists should be underneath your elbows. Press into the tops of your feet. Press into your hands. Legs really active in both the cobra and the up dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. So make sure you're not on a tightrope. Feet hips distance apart. So start on your fingertips. Get lots of length through the sides of your waist. Fire up that back leg. Stretch your arms forward. So it's almost like we're going to launch into warrior three here. Good way to warm up the body. As you exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your right foot to meet your left foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, stretch up. As you exhale, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward. Keep left foot forward, right foot back. Again, inhale, just come into that little low crescent pose. So arms are reaching up overhead. See how long you can get through the sides of your waist. Nice work. As you exhale, hands plant. Step left foot to meet right foot. Lower as you exhale. You can hover here or come all the way down. Inhale into your low cobra or upward facing dog. Beautiful work. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. Inhale, stretch arms forward. Make sure you're not laying your belly down on that front thigh. And then exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left foot to meet your right foot. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Press down into your feet. Stretching arms out and up. Good. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. All right, so let's root down into our left foot here. We're just gonna bend our right knee so you can either hold underneath that thigh. You might be able to get fingertips around the shin, so both good places to be. And then we're just gonna keep squeezing this left hip in, but we're gonna find that hip opening. So just opening up that right leg. Gonna notice all of the little micro movements happening in that standing foot. You can always take your left arm out as a little balance too. You can hold onto a wall that's near you, piece of furniture. Come back to center. Let's stretch our arms up. Good. Extend that leg. It's that same feeling that we just had in our crescent pose. It's miserable. As you exhale, release down. Arms come by the side. Okay, so rooting into your right foot. Feel that outer hip squeeze in. Just bend the knee here. Press shoulder heads back, so make sure that you're lengthening through the sides of your waist. And then we start to open up. Doesn't have to be very deep. So this is kind of like a little, almost moving towards a tree pose situation. And balance if you need to. Okay, we come back to center. All right, stretch arms up. Extend left leg, just a breath or two. Ooh, you feel this on the top of the leg. It's really intense. And then release down. Release your arms down. Nice work. As we inhale, arms reach out and up. As we exhale, we hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Keep looking forward, bend your knees, plant your palms, or right foot back. Then left, inhaling here in plank. As you exhale, legs really active, lower halfway, hover or all the way down, maybe using your knees. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, pull back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. So full crescent pose this time. Inhale, rise up. Get that nice hip stretch in the back of the legs. And then let's cactus our arms. Kind of feel the elbows squeezing back towards each other. And we're going to do some flies here. So as you exhale, like you're moving through molasses, press the arms in towards each other. Inhale, open up. Good. Exhale, press in. Inhale, open. So muscles really firing up here. As you exhale, come on in. And then inhale, open up here. Stretch arms up. Maybe bring your gaze up. Good. And then as we exhale, let's take a little twist here. So root down into your left hand. Hand might be on a thigh. You can always lower your back knee as well. Keep pressing to the inner edge of this right foot. Roll into this nice twist here. So shoulder blades stacking on top of each other. Feel that lowermost left wrist or left rib wrap up towards the ceiling, and then everything kind of follows along. Keep that back leg really strong. Breath smooth and steady. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, you unwind. So gaze forward, hips is slow. Step to your plank pose. Lower chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale into your low cobra or your upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. So feet hips distance apart, strong, strong back leg. Inhale, rise up, crescent. You can always have a little bend in the back knee, especially if you're tighter in the hip flexors. That's going to help you find more space. So cactus your arms. Deep inhale. Exhale, press in. So give yourself a little resistance here. Inhale, open up. And then exhale, press palms in. Inhaling up. And then exhale, pressing in. Inhaling, opening up. Stretch arms up overhead here. Maybe press palms, gaze up. Try to keep this lift, this length through the sternum as we transition into that twist. So pressing to the inner edge of your left foot. Right wrist underneath your right shoulder. Hand could be on a block. That back knee might be down on the floor. If it's not, you're vigorously pressing back into the heel. You're feeling the front of the leg firm to the back of the leg. Breath smooth and steady. Just wringing everything out here. One more deep inhale. As you exhale, unwind here. Gaze forward, step to your plank pose. On your exhale, you lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Inhale, low cobra or upward facing dog. As you exhale, you pull back, downward facing dog. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And try to slow everything down. So we're starting to feel a little heat in the body, which is a great thing. As you inhale, a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes. End of your exhale, you can lightly hop or you can step right and left. You can walk forward. Inhale, chest lengthens. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press down into your feet. Stretch arms out and up. Good. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. Just make sure that you have a block towards the top of your mat if you have one handy. And we're going to flow a little more here. So as you inhale this time, knees bend, arms reach up, utkatasana chair pose. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms, left foot back, then right. shift forward, lower halfway, hover, or all the way down. Of course, these Chaturanga vinyasas are always optional, so if you're getting cooked on them, start to skip them. As you inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step that foot through. We rise into our crescent pose. Good. So from here, start to heel toe, right foot to the left, open up that back leg. So we're heel to arch now. We've adjusted, setting up for our Virabhadrasana 2. Torso is facing towards the long edge of your mat, but you're pressing your right hip back as this left hip releases down. Gaze out over those right fingertips. Feel the shoulder blades release down. Keep the legs exactly like this. Spin your right palm to face up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Take an exhale, sink into the legs a little deeper. And then inhale, press to the inner edge of that front foot as you bring that leg to straight. From here, as we exhale, keep shifting the hips off to the left a lot. Lengthen through this right side of your waist. As you reach, keep pressing to the inner edge of your foot. And then hand to a block behind the leg if you have one. If you don't have a block, hand could be on thigh or shin. Shoulder blades stack on top of each other. And this inner right thigh is wrapping towards that outer right thigh. Some nice little hip opening. And then let's spin our left palm to face behind us. Bend the elbow. So grab a piece of shirt. Maybe you can get your fingertips to the inside of that right thigh. Little shoulder neck stretch here. Press that left shoulder head back a lot. And we're going to transition this into our Ardha Chandrasana. So if you're in the wrap and you want to play with that transition, stay as like this. Otherwise, you could just bring your left hand to your left hip. Right, so keep chestless open, bring your gaze down to your right toes. Start to bend that right knee. Walk your block forward about a foot. You might have to step the back leg in, but you can also play with just lifting that left leg up. Good, flex that top foot so the toes are pointing forward. We've taken triangle pose and turned it on its side. Go ahead and free that left arm. So coming into the full expression of the pose. Breath smooth and steady. So start to bend your right knee a lot. We're going to transition nice and light back to our Virabhadrasana 2. Nice. Good, deep inhale. As you exhale, windmill your arms up and over. Spin onto those left toes, your choice. You step to downward dog. You step to plank, take a Chaturanga vinyasa. Whatever your body is needing here. Nice work. As you inhale, lift your left leg up. And then as you exhale, step that left foot through. Inhale, strong legs carry you up. Crescent pose, nice. Heel toe, left foot to the right twice. Spin into the back edge of that right foot. We are heel to arch, nice deep bend in this left knee. Torso parallel to the long edge of your mat. Just gazing out over those left fingertips. So nice big hip opening. It feels like you're pressing that left hip back behind you. All right, so legs stay exactly like this. Flip your left palm up. Inhale. Reverse your warrior. Take an exhale here. And then inhale, press to the inner edge of that left foot. Good. Hold on to all of this length through that left side of your waist as you start to hinge forward at that hip. Reaching again. Hand can come to thigh, shin. Block is lovely, and there's different heights. This side might feel really different. So press more into the back edge of your right foot. As you do that, maybe you can get more length through that left side of your waist. Press to the inner edge of that left foot. So turn on that hip opening. Good, and then start to externally rotate that top arm. So you're spinning the palm to face behind you. Bend the elbow. So grab a piece of shirt, lower left side. Maybe you can get your fingertips to the inside of that thigh. Really leverage that right shoulder head back. So it's a pretty intense stretch there. Is there any tension in your face and jaw? Soften. Okay, and then we transition into our Ardha Chandrasana. So if you want to play with the wrap, stay here like this, otherwise your hand comes to your hip. Start to bend your left knee, walk your block forward about a foot. So you might have to step that back foot in and then lift. Maybe you stay in the wide stance if you're kind of trying to take this to the next level. And just shift that way. So keeping that nice wide stance, your toes point forward. Foot is flexed and active. You don't have to overlift this top leg. Heel in line with hip is perfect. It's where you need to be. You want to have that left shoulder underneath your wrist. Go ahead and extend that top arm up. So coming into the full expression of Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose, triangle pose on its side. All of the same elements working here. If you fall out, it's no big deal. That's how we get good at this. Okay, so we're going to transition into our Virabhadrasana too. So start to bend your left knee a lot. And then don't think about it too much. Find that warrior two. Beautiful, nice deep inhale. As you exhale, windmill your arms up and over. Take a Chaturanga vinyasa if you would like. Keep legs really active. Otherwise, you're just pulling back to your downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Make sure you're lengthening through the sides of your neck. Feel those inner arms wrap towards your outer arms. As you inhale, a little bend in your knees, come to your tippy toes. End of your exhale, spring forward, step left then right, walk. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, knees bend, arms reach up, utkatasana, chair pose. Good. As you exhale, press your legs to straight, hands come together at your heart. All right, so in that Tadasana, that mountain pose, let's go ahead and grab strap again. And if you don't have one, you're gonna just do the variation that we did earlier. But if you wanna play with it, you're welcome to. Okay, so rooting into that left foot, we're gonna just start to bend the right knee. So again, you can hold underneath. You can interlace fingers above that shin. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Imagine that you're standing against a wall. Okay, so again, you can just stay like this to open up the leg. If you want to play with using your straps, so the standing version of what we started class with, you can take the strap around the sole of your foot. A couple of us might even be able to grab our big toe with our middle and index finger, so that works too. As you do this, notice if that right hip starts to creep up, drop it down so both hip bones are facing forward. Okay, and then again, maybe you need a little counterbalance here, so left arm can come off to the side. We start to open up. And again, the knee might be bent. You might just be holding underneath that thigh. Good, so split the difference. So don't come back to forward, but you're not as far out as you could go. And then let's start to bend the knee here and find our triangle pose. And it's also okay if your leg is down a little lower. Good, notice all of the micro movements happening in that standing foot. Start to extend your arms up to straight. Maybe bring your gaze up. Good, and then as you exhale, hands come to heart center. We release that side. So just give the legs a little walk out. And then moving to the left side. So rooting down into that right foot. Feel your lower belly engage a little bit here. Just start to bend that left knee. So you could stay like this through the whole thing. If you wanted to, take your strap, kind of just up the ante a little bit. So one strap in each hand. Release that left hip down. You could also be hooking with your big toe here, fingers on big toe. Imagine that there's a wall behind you, so you're pressing your shoulder heads back, so there is that openness across your heart and chest. Okay, so maybe you need a little counterbalance. So right arm off to the side, both hands in your strap, or you can be holding onto your knee. Open up. Good, and then notice if you want to pop that right hip out, keep squeezing it in. Notice you have the death grip on those right toes, soften them, but do press vigorously into the four corners of your feet. Start to split the distance here. So you're not coming forward, but you're not opening up quite as wide as you can. Good, and then let's just transition into our tree pose. Good, and it's okay if the foot is a little lower on the leg too. We just don't want that foot on the knee. Use your hand to help get it where it needs to go. Start to extend your arms up. Beautiful, beautiful focus here. Good, maybe begin to bring your gaze up. Good, and then start to bring your hands down to heart center. Just releasing here. Give the legs a little walk out. Nice work. All right. So let's just go through a little vinyasa to get to our backs here. Have a block nearby. We'll do a little supported bridge. All right. So as you inhale, arms reach out and up. As you exhale, hinge forward, fold in. Inhale, chest extends forward, gaze comes forward. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step left foot back, then right. Pull back to downward facing dog or take a Chaturanga vinyasa. And we all meet back in downward facing dog. So just gaze forward between your hands. We're gonna hop through. So you're gonna cross your ankles and then sit back and then come onto your back. So just finding your bridge pose setup. So landing with your knees over your ankles. They might even be slightly ahead. Arms by your side. And for right now, if you do have a block, let's just take that block and place it between our thighs. So probably the narrow way. Guys sometimes need to go that middle way. The hips are a little wider. It's just kind of gauging how you're built here. But really give that block a nice squeeze. Feel as though you're gonna spin it down towards the floor. So this just gives us a little feedback for our legs, which is nice. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, squeeze that block so much that your tailbone directs forward. You press into your feet and you lift up. Take an exhale. Good. Another deep inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly lower down. Find a nice little inhale. Exhale, squeeze the block, direct tailbone forward. Feet lift up. This time as you inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Take a nice deep exhale. Keep squeezing the block. Another inhale. Exhale, release everything down. One more. So nice inhale. Exhale, squeeze the block vigorously. Tailbone directs forward, starts to lift up. Inhale, arms stretch up overhead. Full exhale here. Good, full inhale. And then keep the hips lifted here. Keep squeezing the block as you exhale. Release your arms by your side. Either grab the outer edges of your mat, walk your shoulders underneath you, or you can interlace your fingers underneath you, dragging your knuckles towards your heels. Gaze is just soft and gentle up at the ceiling, so you don't want to be doing a lot of side to side looking here. There's a lot of pressure on the neck. Good, one more deep inhale. Exhale, release everything down. And then you can grab that block. We're going to come into a supported bridge. You could use books underneath your sacrum. If you don't have a block handy, you can roll up your mat, cushion from the couch. So from here, press into your feet and then slide that block underneath you. So you can do any height here. You do want to make sure that the block is underneath your sacrum. Sometimes we get it underneath the lumbar, which feels really uncomfortable. So you'll know when you've got that spot. It should feel pretty easy. And then close your eyes if they're not already. And you can kind of snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you so there is this sense that your shoulders are becoming feet. Observe if you start to roll to the outer edges of your feet here. Keep pressing evenly. Feel those inner thighs release down. And then really consciously start to shift your breath. Lengthen it out. Let the inhale get longer. Let the exhale get longer. So all of the hard work is done. We start to move towards these final moments of our class. We start to quiet down, a little more restful. It's your option to stay here like this. If you'd like to come into supported shoulder stand, bend your right knee in so you keep your sacrum on the block, then your left knee. Extend right leg to the ceiling, and then left leg. So you want to have your heels over your hips. If you come into this shoulder stand, this supported shoulder stand, and it doesn't feel good, just place your feet back down on the mat in your bridge pose. Feel those inner thighs spiral forward. Notice the expansion of the thoracic, the upper body as you inhale. Anytime your attention drifts, just come back to that sound of your breath. Good. One more deep inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Release the feet down. And then you're going to press into your feet, lift your hips up off the block. Good, lower down here. And let's just keep in this same setup. So let's cross our right ankle above the left knee. So coming into our reclining pigeon pose here. Flex that right foot a lot. You can take your right hand into your thigh, gently press forward. Again, we're trying to find that space. So depending upon what's going on in your body today, this might be plenty of stretch. If you feel like you'd like to go a little further, maybe start to bend your left knee into your chest. Reach your right hand through that triangle you've made, interlace fingers around the thigh or the shin. Maybe wedging that right elbow into your right thigh. Focusing on that sound of your breath. These hip stretches can be really, really intense, so sometimes we need to back out a little bit. So honor that if that's you today. If this is still feeling easy, if it feels like you have a little more room in your body, you could start to forklift that right shin with your elbows. So you pull in and then extend your left leg to straight on the mat. So this is kind of like a reclining version of our single pigeon. Again, you can go here, try this out, see what you think. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's just right. Do keep that extended leg really active. Feel both hip plates pressing evenly into the mat underneath you. And again, a little flex of that right foot wherever you are in this pose. All right, so if that left leg is extended, bend the knee in, just come back to this reclining pigeon, and then we release this side. So uncross that right ankle, taking second side, left ankle crosses above your right knee. Side to side, the hips can be really, really different. So you're just observing that here. You can take your left palm into that thigh, gently draw forward. This might be all the further you go. If you've got a little more, start to bend your right knee in, interlacing fingers around the shin or the thigh. Keeping that breath moving, sending the exhale to that outer left hip, glute. And then again, if you wanted to go a little deeper here, you can fork lift that left shin with your elbows. Extend your right leg to straight, keeping it really active. Little reclining single pigeon. Couple more good breaths. Good, start to bend. Right knee, if you extended that leg. Just releasing out of this side. Give both knees a squeeze into your chest. Good, and then let's come into happy baby. So grabbing the outer edges of your feet. So you could also grab thighs, gently press down. So start to flatten that curve in your lower back. And then if you'd like to here, if you can hook your big toes with your middle and index finger, maybe you come into your reclining Upavista, so you take the legs out wide, and if you use the strength of your arms to help pull the toes towards the floor. And then if you'd like to bring the legs together, so you're coming into more of a reclining Paschimottanasana, you're gonna feel this in the glutes, the hamstrings, you might need a little bend in your knees. Good, and then just bend the knees here, arms out in a T shape. Drop knees off to the right. Simple little twist before we find our Shavasana, gazing up at the ceiling or out over your left fingertips. Feel that stretch, that openness across your heart and chest. And then inhale up to center. Exhale. Drop knees off to the left, gaze out over right fingers. Inhale up to center. And then just making your way into your final resting pose here, Shavasana. So it can look classic. Legs extended a little wider than hips distance apart, arms a little wider than shoulders distance apart. You can kind of snuggle those shoulder blades underneath you. If there's any sensation in your lower back, take a little something underneath your knees, whether that's blocks or a bolster or a rolled up blanket. And then just let everything slow down. Let your body feel really heavy and supported. Melt in here, soak up these final moments of your yoga practice. Take a deeper inhale. Sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, stretch out. So just bringing some gentle movement back to your body, anything that feels good. And just begin to roll to one side or the other, just finding the fetal position, staying soft and quiet. And then you're going to use your hands to help you press up to a comfortable seat. Notice how you feel here. Notice how you feel differently than when you started. Send yourself, send your body love and gratitude for showing up, for working hard, for making the effort. And just promise yourself that you're going to carry a little of this good feeling with you into the rest of your day ahead, the rest of the week, the rest of the month. Bring your palms together at your heart and just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today. Thank you. So good to see all of you.